Joining me now is Lorraine Hutchinson, Senior Retail Analyst at Bank of America Securities. Good afternoon, Lorraine.
Good afternoon, John.
Well, I love a bold call, so let's get into this one. I mean, I understand the idea that it's sort of maybe the best of the pack, but what if they're all bad?
Well, look, the stocks have been all bad. Year to date, they're all down about 60%. And if I were to highlight two key themes that we see coming out of this pandemic, it's number one, a shift away from the mall, and number two, a shift toward e-commerce. And we think Kohl's will stand out positively in both of those themes, with 95% of its stores off mall, so in strip centers, much easier to get in and out of, I think much more comfortable for shoppers to go. And then number two, e-commerce. Their penetration last year was 25%, and that spiked to 45% in the first quarter when many of their stores were closed. So I think Kohl's is really set to be a key winner post-COVID, and the stock just has not been differentiated by investors versus a Macy's or a Nordstrom.
Is this the time for maybe payoff from that experiment that they did with returns for Amazon, things like that? Have they become associated with e-commerce in that way, and has that taught them something that you think sets them apart now?
They certainly have. You know, they, as you know, they accept Amazon returns in their stores. It's been a great traffic driver. I think there's still a lot of room to go on their ability to convert that customer into a Kohl's customer, and that's what they'll really be focused on. I think it's interesting that when they reopened their stores post the pandemic, they moved that Amazon returns desk somewhere different in the store besides customer service to create some distance. And we think also better adjacencies for that millennial mom walking into a Kohl's maybe for the first time to bring her Amazon product back. She'll have some other options of things that she might want to pick up at Kohl's.
Now, what about this issue that I'm raising about stores where you have to touch a lot of things? Now, I know that surfaces are not seen as a major vector of transmission for virus spread, but in general, people are just concerned about this type of thing. Is that something that a retailer like Kohl's can address in a way that appears to be better than others, whether it's organization, whether it's cleaning? Is there any strategy that you've seen here in retail that makes you more or less heartened when you look at these players?
Look, they've all been taking a lot of precautions. They're limiting the number of people in the stores. They've stepped up the cleaning in a big way. Some have fitting rooms closed. They'll keep the product aside for 24 hours after somebody has tried it on or returned it. So there are plenty of precautions in place. I think some of the most shocking data points that we heard coming out of first quarter earnings was actually how well the brick and mortar stores have been opening once they've opened. We see lines outside the store. People are really interested in going back.
I want to sneak one more in for you. And how do you buy a retail stock if you don't know how Black Friday is going to work? Do you know?
Nobody knows. But I think, when you look at the customer's wallet, right now it's pretty healthy. And one of the big themes for years before COVID was the shift toward spending on experiences. Vacations, nice meals, wine tastings, those are all canceled. So if you have a little bit of discretionary money, maybe it's a nice year to buy some more Christmas presents, buy yourself some clothes. I think there will be a big shift back to some spending on material goods, just given the lack of other options.
Let's say there is, but government stimulus has had a bit to do with that. And I just wonder about the logistics of lining up at stores, how many people can get in. I mean, maybe that makes your e-commerce case. Hey, if I can't line up at the store, then I'm going to buy online and I'm going to buy from Kohl's because it's better than the others. But I don't know. What do you say?
Yeah, look, I think, Black Friday is becoming less and less important for the industry as the deals have stretched much longer online. And I think they'll work to do that again this year, really start offering the discounts online much earlier so they avoid crowds at the stores. And I think most people will shift their spending more toward e-commerce this holiday because they want to avoid those crowds. And I think Kohl's is poised to win there.